Hello and welcome. It is Sunday, it is afternoon, and therefore, you know where I am. I'm hanging out with you and getting maybe even some words in. I don't know how many of you were participating in Camp NaNoWriMo and how many of you weren't, but let me know how your month was. How was April? Did you do schoolwork? Did you work on your projects? Did you just read something on your to read pile? Or was April just not the month for you? Let me know. For me, I managed to actually edit, let me look at my nano stats, 62,126 words. So I'm not done with the manuscript yet, and my Alpha Rita is only off of her school for May. So I need to crank out the rest of this manuscript and get it to her, hopefully by the end of the week. If I look, let's see, tools, word count, the manuscript itself is, oh, whoops, I have a selection. That's not going to help. Word count is 82,000 right now. Oh, wow. That went up a bit. So obviously, if I have edited 62 and I have 82 left, or 82 total, I still have 20,000 words left to edit. So maybe not this week. Maybe I'll get it done next week. But yeah, so I made some good progress, which is really exciting that I got the 62,000 words edited this month, because I don't know if y'all have been around at my recent streams, but January, I was going to edit 20,000 words. February, I was going to edit 20,000 words. March, I was going to edit 20,000 words, and I started March at 16,000 and change, which is a little bit less than 20,000 a month since January. So clearly I had some catching up to do. So let's see. Over in the chat, I see Maya joined us today. Hello and welcome. Doc Coleman will be popping in as soon as his groceries go away. For once, he's doing groceries right now instead of in half an hour. Let's see. So okay, I don't know what just happened there, but thank you for being patient. I didn't touch anything and it decided that I'd unplugged my microphone and camera. So anyway, yeah. So Doc is going to be joining us in a minute, and Raven is here. Hello and welcome. Let's see. Maya says that April was kind of weird. Totally get that. Totally get that. So Raven says for him, Camp Nano started off well, but right as mid-month hit, he burned out. He's not even sure where he's gonna, if he'll end up going back to that project. Really wasn't happy with how it was panning out. I get that. I definitely get that. My space fantasy took 2 tries to get it in the shape and direction I was hoping for. So maybe toss it on the back burner, maybe try something new, whatever works for you. So Maya says that they didn't do Camp Nano, but did brainstorm a new paranormal fantasy novel. Ooh, I like those. So the kids are asleep is saying hi over on Twitch. So hello and welcome. And a Raven is making fun of my technology glitch. So I don't know what was up with that. I also don't know why my computer decided to I was trying to get on the stream on time, and you might have noticed I was a little late. And that's because I go to log in, I hit StreamYard, and then my computer's like, I'm going to turn off. And then I had to wait for it to turn on. So really weird, but sometimes it happens. Let's see. So Red Spy, Red X, Jacob is here. Hello and welcome. Always happy to have you, Jacob. So over on Twitch, the kids are asleep says that Camp Nano was productive for them. They finished a novel edit, turned it in, finished an outline, and started a new project in 1 month. Craziness. Oh my goodness. That's pretty impressive stuff, you know? So it sounds like, mixed, because every month is mixed. And, for some of us, 1 month is going to work better than others. And that's just, how it goes. So I get that. I definitely get that. So Raven says he switched into short stories and is planning to make a submission of one of his old stories, Marlowe's Moonlight Mandolin, to Death Knell Publications for an astronomy anthology. Oh, that's super fun. I love the idea of anthologies and like themed like submissions, but I never get inspired by them, which maybe someday. Who knows? It could happen. So Raven says then he's going to work on submissions for The First Line. The Kids Are Asleep says Cast of Wonders just opened and Space Fantasy. My space fantasy is not even ready for my alpha reader, much less going out into the world. But hopefully soon. So, Doc, are you ready to join me? Okay. Didn't want to just throw you on camera mid-sneeze or something. So, how are the groceries? Did you get anything delicious? Oreos, Reese's?
We did get some things delicious, but we're actually more upset by the fact that we were charged for things that didn't get delivered.
Oh no!
Yeah.
So you were hunting down the list to track what?
Yeah.
Did they miss a bag or something?
It looks like the guy didn't pull all the bags out and left with something, or he made a stop before us and gave some of our groceries to somebody else. But I'm also getting kind of upset with the company because I keep finding my quantities are being changed. That I'll order 4 of something, and it'll end up saying, "Oh, two. Here's the 2 that you ordered," and it's like, no, that's not the number I ordered. Yes,
Tell them to read between the lines.
Yes.
So that's so mean, and I did a little bit of online ordering for groceries when I was down with my mom, and like one of the things they substituted out was a low sodium breakfast sausage with the not low sodium breakfast sausage. And I was like, hey, so my mom's on these medications and that's just not going to fly. So I'm going to have to reject that one. And I ran into the store and they're like, oh, we didn't have it. And yeah, I think the problem is that they had an unskilled grocery store filler who didn't realize that breakfast sausage isn't next to the dinner sausages.
Oh, sheesh.
What we ordered was right there. They weren't out of it. It was there.
They just didn't know where to look.
Yeah.
No, it does get silly sometimes. What really I will shoot out at Instacart, which is the service that I use for this, that if what you asked for the person can't find, they will ask you if you want a substitution, and they will show you something, and maybe one time you say, okay, fine, I'll try that and see if it's any good, and then you get it and it's terrible, and there is no way for you to go into the app and say, never ever give this to me again. In fact, because you accepted it as a substitute once, it now becomes your primary substitute for that thing.
And so you can put notes in, though. Can you put in, you substituted this and it was the worst thing I ever had in my life. Oh my God, if you do that to me again, I might burn your car. Oh, wait, you probably shouldn't do threats.
You can put notes in, but only the shopper will see them if they check the notes. The best you can do is like, okay, I've made my order. Now I have to go through and check every individual item and make sure that the acceptable substitutions work for me. Which it doesn't seem to carry over properly. And it's like, there
Yeah.
should be a way that you can go in and say, I tried this. It was horrible. No, get rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see. Popping to the comments, Maya said they're going to be working on deciding what project they will volunteer as tribute. And they're kind of confused on what to work on as a side project. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. So what are you working on today, Doc? Are you still editing book 2?
I'm still trying to get through revisions on book 2. April has not gone well for me.
I'm
I've had
sorry.
some. It's like right now I'm dealing with issues in my shoulder. We've at least I spent yesterday afternoon in the emergency room trying to get it diagnosed, and they believe it's like a strained ligament, but you know,
Wait,
hmm?
did you
Yeah,
sleep wrong? Sleeping
yeah.
is dangerous.
You
So, I mean, I could see that.
you have slept upon it wrong, and now you are scarred for life.
Yeah. So the only reason I made it back from RavenCon without throwing out my neck was because they had chair massages, $1 a minute. I'm like,
Oh,
do
shit.
something about this because I am one turn my head while opening a door away from throwing my neck out again. And so they got it better. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna do a quick little stretch.
Yeah.
Might not be telling me to, but
Don't break yourself right at the beginning of the live stream.
oh, I just spent how long in a car? I
Yeah.
I bribed Catechus not to attack me during the session
You
because
you got him
I,
stoned out on catnip?
no, I opened the sunroom. So
Ah,
that's
that
a
would do
room
it.
he's not usually allowed into, but if he gets in there, I've been told that the plants are safe for him.
And
So
I've
it's
got a gilly right here who keeps
fine.
coming up out of screen and licking at me.
Aw. I got about 15 minutes of snuggles in my lap when I got home from RavenCon. And then I was like, ooh, why don't you curl up next to me and we'll nap? And he leapt on my head 3 times and bit my cheek. After the first time, I hid under the blanket so he couldn't actually get to me. And then I was like, okay, clearly we need to play. Oh, did I tell you that I was trying to play with him and I couldn't figure out what he was trying to do? And playing just wasn't working because he wanted to play a new game, but he couldn't tell me what the new game was.
No, you did not tell me this.
Okay. So like I've been throwing his mouse and he's been like, "No, mom, that's boring." Um and he's got these like meat chew stick things that I'll toss and that's usually game. Um but I figured out his new game. It's kind of hide and go seek where you duck behind something and you make eye contact and he sees if he can sneak up on me in between and then I tag
Hmm.
him very gently or he'll tag me very gently and then he'll run off and go hide behind something else.
Okay.
So I'm
So
playing
it's
hide and go seek with my
a,
cat.
a game of stalk the mama. Uh,
Stalk the mama.
yeah.
Yeah, really,
As
really.
long as he's just reaching out and tapping,
Yeah, yeah,
as opposed
definitely.
to hamstring.
Yeah. I try to make sure I don't set him up for failure by being like right behind something he'll run up on because if my face is right there, that's
Mhm.
setting him up for failure, and we don't want to do that. So the kids are asleep says it's wild how your body starts to rebel as you get older. It's so rude.
It is rude.
Oh, Maya's grandma has shoulder issues and they still haven't found a workable solution. So Raven says that sadly he is realizing he's going to have to start revisions on the novel he completed first draft in 2020, The Mountain Speaks, and he hasn't touched it since Nano Nano of 2020. I gotta say, one thing I found is usually when I go back to old drafts, they're not as bad as I thought they were going to be. That doesn't mean they're good, but it usually means they're not quite the hot mess I thought they were.
They're not quite as bad as you think they were, but that
Yeah.
doesn't mean that they're as good as they can be. So
Yeah. I mean, were writers, are things ever as good as they can be?
No, never. No.
So, Raven misses having a cat in his house. His son took his with him when he left to stay with his mom, and I didn't realize how much that absence would mess with me. I'm sorry. I got my cat about a week before my old cat passed, and my ex had our old cat. So yeah, I definitely understand the lack. So what's the saying? Projects aren't finished, merely abandoned.
Yes.
I mean, I may have mentioned this before, but the only reason I get my weekly vlog out is I record it Wednesday nights. So I don't have time to like stress and like do it a million times. And at some point, I usually say this exact phrase to myself, good a frig enough, click, click, click.
Yep.
Upload, let's get a still shot that doesn't have my mouth like.
Oh, you should use that for one.
So yeah.
Yeah. But the projects aren't abandoned. They are sent out in the world to make it on their own.
Right. Yes. You've done up to a certain point, and then you just got to release it into the wild.
Yeah. If you've been working on the same manuscript for 18 years, kick that sucker out of the house already.
I've been working on the same manuscript for 7-8 years, but I've written 5 other manuscripts in the meantime and edited some of those and a series of short stories, and so it's not like that's the only thing I've been doing.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but you got to admit there are some people who will that will be the only thing that they're going to be doing, and it's like
yeah. So kids are asleep, yeeted from the nest like baby birds.
Yep.
So Maya is going to set up their OneNote, and Raven says, when it comes to my writing, I'm often torn between there's no way this can get any better and this is irredeemable trash. Have you seen the Tangled meme? There's a Tangled meme that does that exact thing.
Yeah, it's in my case it was more like if I keep working on this, I will only make it worse. So I'm gonna go with the both.
Yeah, I get that. Oh, here it is. I found it, so I'm gonna subject y'all to it. Copy image address, so I'm not like spamming y'all with everything. Oh, okay, fine. I guess we'll do it this way.
I thought you were gonna open up a window.
I am. I just had to. Okay, so share screen, share tab.
No, the other tab.
Great. There we go. Okay. So maybe I should zoom in a little. I can't believe I wrote this. Oh, that scene is so hideous. Well, that's okay. The rest of the story makes up for it, right? Oh gosh, the story is so awesome. Awful. The story is so awesome. I'm a horrible writer. I'm going to quit. I'm never going to quit. Woohoo! I am a despicable writer. Woohoo! Best story ever.
Sobbing.
So, classic. Yeah, the kids are asleep says, I love that Tangled meme. Hello, author DL Tillery. Raven says that The Mountain Speaks he's been working on in one form or another for 15 years. So
that's a long time to work on one, to put into a project.
Yeah. So Godzilla would like us to know that the strong cowboy dude is going to kick Jacob the King Red Spy Red X's butt cheeks for watching bad guy movies in the movie theater. It could happen. I could see it. I'm not sure what the bad guy movie that Jacob watched was, though. So technology, makes its own. Maya says, actually, a lot of projects I wrote in the past helped me improve in novel writing. Yeah, I mean, no writing is wasted. It might not be something you want to share, but it taught you something.
It's part of the process.
It's part of
So
the
so
process.
don't be afraid of cutting out 30,000 words because you went down the wrong path. So
It happens. It happens to all of us, you know? So let's go ahead and get some writing in, and then I'll tell you how RavenCon went.
okay.
In 3, 2, 1, boom. Chakalaka. Still funny. Easily amused.
Yeah, easily amused.
The bar's pretty low. It might be on the floor.
Don't go limbo under that bar.
Oh. And we're back. How was your sprint, Doc?
Uh, let's see. I finished up a chapter, which is good. I don't know. It's just a little scattered today, trying to get my thoughts together and get back on track. It's been a while since I've been able to dig into this, and and my arms still hurt.
I get that.
and,
That's rough.
and you have a catechus.
I do, who is being a little demanding today, but he does that sometimes.
Mhm.
I just split a chapter.
You split a chapter. It's now 2 chapters.
Well, it was 4,200 words.
That's a good time to split a chapter, unless it really sticks together.
Yeah, so now it's 1,500 and 2,800, which I think is a little more reasonable.
Yeah, my general guidelines are for chapters to go between 2,000 and 5,000 words, but I kind of try to hit the sweet spot between 2,500 and 3,000.
Yeah. 4,000 was. I don't. Let me look at my. Okay, I've got a couple others that are similar length. I see one. Oh, okay, that one's got to get split. I have one that's 67. But the issue I've found with multiple points of view is that you tend to wrap up a scene rather than breaking mid-action before switching, or at least that's what I've been doing.
You gotta learn to cliffhanger.
I know. So I think the ones that are super long are going to turn into cliffhangers, or bounce to another point of view. Because one of the long ones though is right after like a 704 word, which is super short. So that one is probably getting split, or part of it's getting moved into the previous one so it can cliffhanger a little better.
But yeah, that's definitely the fun of cliffhangering, is that you set up all the drama and you drop it right there, and then you can switch to a different
and sometimes you can do that literally by taking like the first 2 chapters or first 2 paragraphs of the next scene and moving them to the end of the previous one.
Yep.
So like if things are like settling out or what have you.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was figuring out where to break that chapter up, and finishing out the second half of it. So I think that means I edited about 500 words, which isn't a lot for editing, but especially since I copy pasted it, or I moved the chapter up to, so I have them numbered chapter 1, chapter 2, but it's like chapter 1, point of view 1, chapter 1, point of view 2. And I moved it up into the middle of the 9s instead of the 10s. So I fixed that. It was easy to split that chapter and move it for the secondary character, because I kind of alternate main character, point of view, alien, main character, point of view, cousin, main character, point of view, alien. So fitting in an extra of the non-main characters is really easy because there's always a gap before.
Okay.
So, but I still definitely, I went to so I was going to talk about RavenCon, right?
Yes,
so
you were.
This past weekend, I went down to Richmond, Virginia, which is an hour and a half that way and 3 hours back.
Good trick.
Well, I mean, I left at 11 p.m. one way, and I left at 1 p.m. the other way, coming north on a Sunday, and it started raining just as I hit Fredericksburg, which is a traffic jam normally without rain.
Yep.
So yeah, I went down and I was on 4 panels. On Friday, I moderated 2, and I had one person in the audience for the first one, and two people, one of which was the wife and good friend of one of the other panelists at the second panel. Saturday was much better. I had like 7 to 10 people in the audience. But when you have one person in the audience, you ask them what they're there for and you cater all your advice to them. And if they decide to make a comment that's more of a question that's more of a comment, you'll let them go with it because nobody's going to be irritated about them talking to themselves. And that's what they're there for. So I just let her talk about what she's working on and whatever.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, there's no reason not to. Did you freeze? Or are you lost in thought? I'm going to say he's lost in thought. While we wait for Doc to rejoin, I'm going to pop into the comments. Hello, Kelly, and welcome. DL is working on one of their short stories. Raven says that his story, The Mountain Speaks, that he's been working on for 15 years. For him, the positive side of the argument, it tends to be him looking at his project, being unable to change it for the better because it's already how he wants it, even if it's utterly unreadable in its current form. So Kelly swung by. Hello and welcome. You haven't made too much trouble on the stream. That is not a challenge. Not a challenge. So I'm going to have Doc pop back in.
Hi. That was interesting.
It's raining. The internet always gets wonky.
Yes. Somebody get the internet out of the puddle.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's see. Oh, DL got 385 words, which is a solid sprint to me. So Raven would like to recognize that Catechus is going to cat because, oh my goodness, he is catting. But I mean, he's been sorely neglected because I was at RavenCon this weekend. And Greg swung by. Hello and welcome. It's not quite uphill both ways from Fredericksburg, but yeah.
But it's close.
So the panels went well themselves, despite not having huge amounts of people there, and I think people got a lot out of it, even if it's not a huge con in the first place. So, but we had Terry Brooks of Shannara fame. Mm-hmm. He was the guest of honor because he'd been the guest of honor at the first RavenCon, and they were trying to do an anniversary one in 2020.
And they couldn't make it because pandemic hit, so they bumped him up, and he was able to make it. So
exactly, I actually applied on your advice back in 2019, got accepted. And if you look on my where you can find Morgan on my website, you'll see RavenCon 2020/2021/ Williamsburg, Virginia /2022 Richmond.
Yeah.
But I was talking beta reading, NaNoWriMo, how social media keeps me from doing my writing, and how to, best practices for social media. Only half of which I follow. So
best practices for social media, so I am told. No.
Something about focus on one or two instead of spreading yourself super thin and spending like 2 minutes a day on your writing.
Yeah.
But I met a lot of really good people, and I had some great conversations. It was at a hotel convention center that was in 3 buildings with like 2 floors each. So it was campus style. So it did make it a little harder to get that energy of a con because we weren't all in one place.
Yeah, that's obviously not in a location that I'm familiar with.
But the wait for the elevator was non-existent, basically non-existent.
Yeah.
Like, unless you had mobility issues or, whatever, it's one flight of stairs.
Well, that's what I was going to say is it's like, as for mobility impaired persons like myself, that campus style would be an issue, and you've got to
Yeah.
like change buildings.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
there was like a little courtyard thing in the middle, or there was a tunnel in between the three buildings.
Okay, so at least it's at least good to hear that there was something out of the weather
Yeah. Yeah.
for people to move. But
You did have to go through the central building though if you used the tunnel. You
hmm,
couldn't just go straight across. So
okay,
so it may have been more roundabout. So yeah.
yeah, it also depends on what does that do for the total distance that the con
Yeah.
is spread out, because
Oh,
you know
the kids are asleep has to bounce out for a panel at a con, but finish the
oh
scene. Congrats and thanks for joining for the sprint.
later.
Sorry.
But yeah, so for some folks, it's the total distance traveled that's the problem,
Yeah. Yeah.
and separate buildings can really amplify that distance.
It really can. But
Um,
not waiting for crowds on the elevator, um,
mhm.
you know, can save.
Yeah, definitely good to have things pretty much all on one floor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is good for people with mobility issues. But,
Yeah. So unfortunately, conventions are very, what can they afford and what is big enough for their convention.
mhm.
Um, so, and it can be a hard balance. So I woke up at 9 in time to get to a 9 a.m. panel on Saturday.
I'm sorry for you.
I don't get up in time to hit work at 9 a.m. in my own house.
Were you on the panel or were?
No, it was
Oh,
about pacing, and Terry Brooks was on the panel.
okay. I was going to
So
say you voluntarily went to a panel at 9 a.m.
we all know pacing is one of the things I worry the most about in my writing. I think my voice is pretty consistent. I occasionally remember that I need to layer in some description for people who care about that stuff. Um, but pacing is the thing I worry about the
Who
most.
cares about description? It's like, oh, all of your beta readers.
Yeah, but now I'm worried it's slowing the pace of the story because there's
Mhm.
all that description in there. So
Yeah.
that's why I hit the pacing panel.
The my trick has always been to find ways to put in little slices of description
Yeah.
while you're going through the
Yeah.
action.
I definitely did that, but thanks to some critique partners and stuff, I think the little slices are every single sentence.
Mm,
Like there's an action with the description and an action
yeah.
with another description. And I think it might be too much, but I understand people want the world building. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
So popping into the comments, author goddess over on Twitch swung by. Hello and welcome. And a Raven would like to remind us that the best advice um, is to give people the advice we don't follow ourselves.
Mhm.
So, yeah, make sure to focus on one or two social media platforms and not all of them. So, did we want to do another sprint?
Oh, yeah, this would probably be a good time for another sprint.
Okay.
And then when we come back from that, we can talk about which social media platforms will we abandon now that they have been absorbed by billionaires who are going to control the message. No.
I work for government contractors, and the amount of times we've changed upper management and absolutely nothing has changed.
That's true too.
So, as long as it's not China spying on my stuff and using it to target LGBTQA people.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kelly says sometimes the action is suspended to present the perspective of the character, which leads to world building. Yeah, yeah. I just think I have a little too much description there. So, and trust me, the perspective of the character is never in question in my writing. I am all about what the character thinks, wants, knows, and is feeling. Character's perspective is there.
No, you gotta say it right. The character's perspective is right there.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly.
So Raven says he's successfully avoided adding TikTok to his social media melange, but that's as far as he's gotten. I signed up for TikTok, claimed my name so nobody else could put stuff on it, and then deleted it from my phone. I
Okay.
might have to put it on for con stuff, but we'll see. So, and Kelly says, I think China is the least of people's worries in the department. It depends what you're worried about. And, if one billionaire doesn't own it, another one does. So,
Mm-hmm.
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Yeah.
So, let's go ahead and get that sprint in. Are we ready to write? Well,
Learning to type with your fingers crossed right now.
okay. Let's get started in a 3, a 2, a 1. Boom. gravity still works. Cat. Can I type? Pencil. Have we considered not chewing on that? a second. Okay. And I'm back. I'm not quite sure where Doc got up to. His connection has been a little wonky today. Catechus, the sweet, adorable, gnaw on my armable kitty, demanded some love, but I did get, let's see, what did I say? 1,500 words edited. Hello and welcome back, Doc.
Thank you. I was just thinking, this sprint's gone on a little too long. I should check and see how much time. Oh, crap. Not again.
Yeah. So, Author Goddess swung by and said hi over on Twitch. She finished a novel and the edit for a novella last week and is having a self-care weekend and just doing planning stuff. So, not sprinting with us. May the words ever be in our favor. Thank you so much. Kelly is creating a genre diagram, perhaps to challenge his understanding of genre interconnectivity. It feels like a 5,000 piece jigsaw puzzle.
Yeah, the problem is sometimes people mistake genres for settings because they're like named the same thing.
And Catechus indeed continues to prove that he is more important than me attempting to edit.
Yep. He says, no, keep that camera on me. I'm more important.
So yeah, DL says that they use YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Insta, TikTok, and a website. Uses social media for business. Other than that, I have no need for them. So all of them are useful in that light. They are, but I think a lot of it is where do you focus your attention and, the right, when do you post, depending on the different platforms, how often, and what do you need to do for engagement, and the at least 3-to-1 buy my stuff versus here's little memes just to get that. Anyway, I can talk about social media.
So much these days, it seems like people are concentrating on their own personal Discord because that's where they have their own community. And it's like
the fact I believe I'm on 6 different ones for different. Oh, let me give Doc a moment. But DL did get 412 words, even better than last time. Nicely done. So, as I was saying before you dropped for a moment.
Before I was kicked off by whoever I offended with that last comment.
I believe I'm on like 7 different author tubers Twitches, and they have 80% of the same people on all of them. So I don't want to spam you, but I want to be part of your community and
yeah.
I don't need my own Discord.
That's my feeling about it. It would be one thing if there was like a steampunk community Discord that I could step into and out of in order to engage with people on what I'm doing, what other people are doing. But yeah, it's like
I'm on 21 Discord servers.
That's too many.
I want to keep up. I want to connect, but oh my gosh, can we have it in one place? So a couple years ago, I ran into the problem on like Pitch Wars set up its own forum, and NaNoWriMo set up its own forum, and on it, kids these days think that they each need to start a new thread or a new post on a forum for their own introduction rather than one introduction with all the threads. Now everybody wants their own Discord. And I'm like, both are wrong in opposite directions.
Yep.
But in similar directions where they all have the control over the thing and it's theirs and they want their name first. And I don't need that. I want to be part of a community and the community can come first.
Yeah. What if I reach the next attitude?
So if I'm on your server, I am trying to be engaged, but I have 12 writing servers, maybe more, 8 convention servers.
And sometimes the big problem is the actual content on the servers because it's just so much spew of people going, look at me, look at me. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. So DL says for all the different platforms, they use a schedule and a calendar. So they keep track and they're a planner when they do everything. If someone sees something twice, that's okay. Oh, yeah, no, definitely. It's just keeping up with everything can really stretch you thin, is basically the.
Yeah.
And if you are on platforms that you personally don't find comfortable, that really comes through. And where should you focus your attention? Well, it depends on your audience. If, your demographic is of readers, not other writers. If your demographic of readers is on Facebook, maybe that's where you should be. If they're on Twitter, maybe there. If they're on TikTok, maybe there. Bookstagram is doing pretty well in the YA kind of niche, but you have to know where your audience is and, where's your ROI? Where's your return on investment for the time that you put in maintaining these? That's a very good question, Morgan. I don't know.
And sometimes it's really hard to tell where you're getting any kind of return on your investment. But
yeah. So I actually was on best practices for social media, and I dragged one of the other panelists after the panel into the game room, and we took over an empty table to continue. And a couple other people joined us I was like, hey, so I'm working on Facebook ads, and you said you're good with Facebook ads. Tell me more. Apparently, book covers, even just the book cover art without the text, is terrible for ROI in his experience.
Really?
He does like some horror-esque things, and he says his best stuff is just like stock photo haunted house looking thing and like a tagline with 4 words: mystery, mayhem, and something, murder. I don't remember.
Just
and magic, probably.
Just enough of a teaser to say, this is the genre you're looking for.
Right.
Stuff happens,
Yeah.
and let that draw people in.
Yeah. So I thought that was really interesting. And we tried to discuss some about how I could apply that to the convention setting. But it's a little wiggly. Guess and test is really all anybody in marketing ever does anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you make something go viral? There's not really a formula.
The formula is well known. It's you throw stuff out there until it catches the zeitgeist and goes.
And some people are like, oh, it worked. This is what worked for me. And I'm like, once you've gone viral once, you have the audience to go viral again.
Yeah, potentially, yeah.
Potentially.
But it's one of those things. It's like it's the formula does not fit the formula. So it's very, very hard to go viral with one deliberate act.
Yes. Yeah. But then again, you can always go viral with a tweet from 5 years ago.
Yeah.
So do remember that the internet is forever.
Yep.
So did we want to do another sprint?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Let me figure out where I put my timer. Say again?
We've got just enough time to do another sprint.
Right? So, okay, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
And lo, the scales did fall from your eyes.
Yep. Meow meow. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Can Mama type? No, no typing for Mama. Okay. What's that? You're right. What's that? Are we playing hide and seek? Can I do some writing? I could bribe you with that. What do you think of the sunroom? What's in there?
You totally closed him in there, didn't you?
Nope. I thought about it though. Done. Okay, Catechus was not a huge fan of me editing, but I still got some words done. Let's see. Tools says, ooh, 1,200 words edited. I've got one chapter after this. I might be staying on to do it some more editing after this. Doc, how was your sprint?
Pretty good, except for the just when I heard the alarm go off, I went to switch back over to the stream, and then it dropped me.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I seem to be making pretty decent progress through this chapter. I don't know. I'm I'm still a little distracted with my shoulder, but I'm getting something done.
Good, good.
No,
So is that yes or no for another sprint?
I think I can do another sprint.
Okay. Yeah, because for me, the end is nigh. I mean,
Oh,
it might be like 2 sprints, maybe 3, but I have one chapter left after this.
yeah, well, I'm still on chapter 7 of I don't know how many.
And I figured out a huge, massive, like, hey, why does this character step up at this point? Well, this character overreacted because this happened at massive event that, I already knew was on the thing. And this person stepped up because of her overreaction. So, like, okay, I have reasons for why people are like, yes,
You have social dynamics, and they're working. No.
right? It's very exciting, and as some of this stuff is planned, and some of this stuff, you get your justification as you go through, and then you pop back 3 chapters and add something in. And I have a
Yeah.
question for people who have kids. At what age can they count days of the week? Is it like 3? Is it like 5? Like,
I'm not a person with kids.
me neither. I'm asking the commentary.
I should think that by 5 most kids will know the days of the week.
Right, right. So I think this character is like 2, but maybe there are 3.
Yeah.
But in any case, is there a way that they could be like, oh, we didn't do it today, which is Sunday, so it must have been Sunday, Saturday, Friday, Thursday. So how old do they have to do that, or do I need to cut that line?
Ask your sister.
I will be. I mean, this is going to her next, so she can hopefully fix that.
Yeah, that was that much funnier for those of you who could actually hear my wife say that.
Yeah, no. Obviously, I will be checking with her. But I
Yep.
figured since we're on a sprint, and I know some of the people in the chat have kids, so Kelly says that because I left the mic on, he actually got to hear Catechus, and Catechus does indeed have a cute voice.
Mm-hmm.
It's so cute. Let me know if me leaving the microphone on is distracting or makes you feel less like you're in a silent library when you're sprinting.
It's makes the sprint seem less like silent film time.
Right. So DL says they got another 437 words, which I think is like 350, 400, 400, like definitely on a steady streak there. Kelly says, I believe I nailed the bubble diagram. The line diagram, not so much. It seems the bubble is much more conducive for all subgenres. That makes sense. Yeah. Raven says, my son is 22 and I'm still not sure he can count backwards on a calendar. But 5 is probably the appropriate range. 4 to
You know the mic is live, right? No.
four to 7 for at the latest about kindergartens when they can count days of the week. Okay, so I'll cut that one out. So maybe it'll be like she swung by on pizza night instead.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Well, we
yeah.
we were having this food, so it
Yeah. So 3 is early, 5 is average. It sounds like. Okay. So thank you all. I did hit that scene and was like, wait a second. But I do think I want to age up the character to 3 years instead of 2.
It's like, how precocious is this child? No.
I mean, she's drawing with her coloring, and if you tell me what it is, I can sort of tell that it's in the general shape.
Okay, so that's anywhere between what, 2 and 75?
Right, pretty much. Yeah. Personally, my drawing is such that you know what it was supposed to have been without me necessarily verbalizing it.
Ooh.
Right?
You know what it failed to be without.
Wait. I'll be back in like 7 seconds. I'm grabbing something from the fridge.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, I'm back. So, my aunt I'm an aunt, so I got talked into drawing some stuff, and this is one of my drawings. Can you tell what all of those items are supposed to be?
Appears to be a dragon, a cat, a tree, and a tire swing.
It is, and I didn't even tell you. Can you tell what this is?
That would appear to be a dragon.
So yes, but my drawing is such that people can tell what it was supposed to have been.
Oh.
So
it is a fire-breathing cow with wings. Oh no, it's a no.
This is the nieces.
Okay.
She is currently into writing Warrior Cat / Minecraft / dragon fanfic.
Okay, is this the elder niece or the younger
niece? The elder niece, the one that can talk and write. And
not the one who's into carrying helping with the groceries by carrying the taco seasoning mix.
I saw that. It was a super cute picture. Just picture a 1-year-old, or I guess a 15-month-old helping carrying groceries with the taco seasoning.
Yep. And just the taco seasoning, nothing else.
Yeah. So Raven says, listening to laughter in the background, where are all these tough rooms I'm hearing about? There's
a reason I do comedy.
Right? So, I mean, we started off this stream by saying my amusement factor, the bar is on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
and me stretching because there's no way I can limbo under that.
Yeah, and I guess I came in a little bit late because of the grocery snafu, so I never did my intro. So it's like I write steampunk comedy adventure. I do the comedy thing.
So my humor is a little too dry, and I'm not funny enough.
Your humor is like a martini. There should be
I'm
dust on
snarky.
it.
I I was posting and I was like, hey, I wonder how I come across at conventions. You know, I think I generally come across as friendly, sweet, coherent, and maybe enthusiastic and a little bit snarky. And the head of the guy who runs the open mic night is like snarky. And I was like, I've never had to throw shade your way. And I only said a little bit. I didn't say a lot.
Don't make me throw shade. I will hit you.
I mean, we go back to the fact that I'm a twin and I'm the evil twin, but it's a sliding scale. I just have to be eviler than her. I don't
Yeah.
actually have to be absolute evil.
I
My cat
still,
likes to play with chopsticks.
I still think it sounds better when you say that you're the eviler twin, because that implies that she's evil, but you're eviler.
Oh.
It actually makes you sound more intimidating.
I do have the laugh. So, I mean, I got that going for me. But I don't know. So, anyway, while Doc is coming back in, let's go ahead and start the sprint. I'm going to go ahead and set the timer and let Doc back in.
Hi.
And you want to, are you ready for a sprint?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Okay. See if you can get that chapter done or more done.
Redundant. Dun 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 dun
Dun, 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 dun.
dun.
We are farmers. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a local for farmers insurance.
Mm. Gesundheit.
Thank you. Okay, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1. Boom. Chakalaka laka.
Oh, yeah. Bless you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Hmm.
I'm still here.
And we're back. I finished my first pass, and then while I was at the convention, I went to a panel called Writing the Alien. And some panels are useful for the content, and some panels are useful for they say something and it triggers a thought in your head.
For the inspiration.
And I have several notes from that one that I want to integrate for my space alien. So
cool.
I just really need to give her a lot more agency and a lot more of her own plot line that isn't dictated around the humans.
Hmm.
So I knew where she was going. I just needed to kick it up a notch.
Yeah, need those alien motivations.
Sure. So how was your sprint?
Well, this has been an emotional roller coaster of a chapter. I started off with Professor Crackle almost getting arrested, then having him dressed down, then having him back down, then having him con somebody into a ride to the local port. And now I've dealt with shock and disbelief of having Lord Blasphemy console his uncle. And now he's finding out that the aunt that he always hated always considered him her favorite. So
is this after the fact or during the fact? Is the aunt dead?
His aunt is still alive. She's just been kidnapped.
Right.
But it's like, this woman terrorized me my whole life, and you're telling me I was her favorite?
Well, I'm glad I wasn't her least favorite. Or does she only bestow her attentions on those that she finds worth paying attention to?
She basically she puts her attention on those that she figures will most benefit
from her wisdom.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
She was just trying to help.
Yes, one of those.
Yeah. So, Blinkerbell was excited for me, and I shared an example of my level of humor. Things in my story that make me chuckle. You have humor. I have things like Rachel. Jana arched an eyebrow. Well, probably both eyebrows. She wasn't the best at the single arch, but she tried. So
she arched an eyebrow, and the other one dragged itself along after her.
So, dry humor. little ironies.
Little things like that, yes.
Yeah. So DL is still on oh my gosh, I think it's getting more words every sprint.
Oh, wow.
465, completed another scene, 2 scenes away from finishing the story. Nice. It's a short, right? I think DL was working on a short today.
Yeah, but that's still an impressive rate.
Oh, 100%. I'm just saying, I've written a couple short stories, and the weirdest thing is, like, you can finish them in a day, like drafting, not like.
Yeah.
Can you imagine finishing a story so quickly? You've written shorts before.
Yeah, I've written short stories. In fact, one of the first stories I wrote, I swear that I finished it in like 3 hours. Start to finish, one setting. Boom.
Well, I mean, short stories are focused around one central idea.
Mm-hmm.
And very few settings and minimal characters and just enough world building to give it a setting.
Yep.
Unless the world is part of the plot.
In which case, why are you doing a short story? you need to have something where you can do just enough description so that the reader can fill in the rest in their head.
Yeah. So DL confirmed, yes, I don't know gender, sorry. DL is working on about an 8,000 word story. So yeah, very productive day for me. I could do a little more. I could go ahead and figure out dinner.
Are you looking to me to be the tiebreaker?
Yeah, pretty much.
Uh, you want to do one more sprint?
Sure.
And then
Yeah.
we'll call it. That'll get us an even hour over.
Okay.
And just think of all the poor people who will come along and watch this later, and it's like 3 hours. No.
Hey, if they want company, then they get company and they can hit pause and wander off when they're done.
This is true.
Because in rewind, it's not like you're missing out on the chat. So
Yeah.
okay, well, let's go ahead and get started in 3, 2, 1, boom. Ow. Can you not snap my shirt? And we're back. Sorry, my phone rang.
I was waiting for that chime, and it didn't come.
It didn't? Oh, did I forget to share audio?
I have no idea. I just heard you say it. We're back. It's like, oh wow.
No, it chimed. So I guess it was me. I'm so sorry about that. Have I not been sharing audio the whole time?
No, you've been sharing audio most of the time. I guess if your phone rang and you muted your mic and it killed the audio as well.
Interesting. So sorry about that.
We can do experiments on this later.
Yeah. So I got the major edit in that I wanted from the notes, and now I'm trickling it through the next couple chapters just to make sure it didn't get forgotten.
Cool.
And Raven says that Catechus does indeed have no chill when he wants attention. It is true. I'm sorry about the lack of chime, but
yep.
The timer was showing the right value. So Raven has forgone productivity in favor of going hard on installing mods on their Skyrim Anniversary Edition.
Okay. Gotta have those hobbies, right?
And his internet went finicky, of course.
Of course.
So he was running two very different characters in Skyrim, an Aragonian thief and a Nord mage slayer, but didn't have all the mods he liked installed. And now he does, and he's starting them over tomorrow because sleep, because work. So
yeah.
How was your sprint?
I finished my chapter.
Yes.
So I was kind of happy with that. So at least got one more chapter down in the whole process. But
nice. Oh, DL is slowing down. Only 392, but finish the scene. We are totally kidding because we're still impressed. Anything over 350 is like, go you.
But we're still going to totally diss you for slowing down from your previous 400 words.
465.
Yeah.
So, okay. Well, I think Catechus is about to lose his bleep, and I need some food. So, you want to give an outro and tell people where they can find you?
Yeah, an outro. That might be a good thing. So, hi, folks. I'm not just some strange guy that Morgan drags into her live stream, although I am that. I'm Doc Coleman. I write steampunk comedy adventure. If you're interested in seeing my stuff, she's got the links conveniently down below. And things are changing colors. But if you can't take the time to go and check the links, you can find my website and my stuff just by searching on Doc Coleman Steampunk in your favorite browser. That'll bring up my webpage. It'll bring up my Amazon author page. And I keep working, trying to get this the second book, Kindred of Kali, out this summer so that we'll be ready for my signing this fall at the Maryland Renaissance Festival on September 25th.
Awesome.
So much to do, so little time.
Yeah. GL says it's dinner, so their mind is done. And Blinkerbell says, thanks for the sprint and have a great rest of your week.
Yep.
So, and I think most of you know me. You can find me everywhere except Twitter as Morgan Hazelwood. Morgan Hazelwood everywhere except Twitter, where I'm Morgan Hazelwood. And I blog, vlog, and podcast, writing tips and writerly musings. This week, I was blogging and vlogging about the fact I was right about NaNoWriMo and Camp Nano. I figured out why I've failed 3 out of 7 camps and won like every nano that I've intended to win since my first win. You want to know what I did? I set a higher goal. If I don't have to do something every day, once I start making excuses, I never stop. So by putting like at least 40,000 this month instead of like the 20,000 I try to do in January and February, I had to do something every day or I'd fall too far behind. And so making myself sit down every day is what got me through. And I hit 60,000
words
edited last month. and I just did I don't know, 10,000, 15 today.
Yep.
'Cause
Editing can definitely go like that, where you can just
yeah,
blow through huge chunks of words.
yeah. If things don't need changing, yeah, yeah. So, and this was the easiest character for me to write. So,
Cool.
but yeah, so you can find me everywhere, and my podcast is Writing Tips and Writerly Musings because that's my brand. So thank you all for watching, and oh hey, DL's from Maryland as well. Are you
Yep.
coming to Balticon Memorial Day weekend? I'm going to be there. We're going to do
And
our
so am
live.
I.
And Doc's going to be there, and we're going to do the live stream live from Balticon. It's going to be fun. I'm super excited. So, but yeah, check us out. We're everywhere. We like people, we like writing, and good luck with your stuff. Have a great week, and yeah, should be back next week. Bye.
Bye.